Remember back to Call of the North, the title number, when I said in terms of our journey together through Frozen Crown consultations and first introductions, that was the longest number, at least from my memory to date? Not to outdo it, necessarily, but far away, our present number and the conclusion to Call of the North, now that we've reached that point together in a full album run-through, is a long 7 minutes, which I'm sure will be quite a pleasurable ride. I can think of other similar experiences that might be relatively the same or longer. European music in the metal market has some substantially elongated numbers, but some of the, again, that we've taken together on full experiences have been quite delightful, whether they be commonly album sensations from what I've noticed, not necessarily the conclusions, but to give Call of the North a nice bow, that's where Far Away is placed. I'm sure it'll be a fun number. That's been the story to each piece individually, though with Frozen Crown, again, that was my suspicion, and they've not let me down at all. 22 numbers later, considering this one as well in that total. We took an extensive ride earlier on months ago in terms of fresh introduction, as I typically do for European metal artists, and Frozen Crown was that at one such time, but I've engaged with each piece I've humored for myself of all of you. Though again, I've promised you I'm going to dive deeper for myself into their earlier catalog pre-Call of the North. I thought it'd be fun, though, to return to this album. I do like those previous 3 albums from what I've witnessed of them, but Call of the North was my favorite one in terms of takeaway. Particularly because I'm somebody that, again, has been a metalhead of many years, but I love an aggressive ride. Though, again, I'm open to anything, and Call of the North spoke to that directly. I'm thinking again of Black Heart, as well as some of the numbers we've experienced tonight. In a Moment, Now or Never, some of those numbers come to mind immediately. I think this album generally is quite an exemplary creation, but those last 3 numbers have really surprised me on the differentiation of voice and unique stylization, especially the last one, with Frozen Crown in reflective record. I think we're going to be in for a fun journey to conclude our time together with Frozen Crown at present, though an open door policy is maintained really for any artist I showcase here in the Music Escape, and for Frozen Crown, no exception. Maybe this is your first introduction. I would recommend, if you're humoring this one, going in advance with the entirety of the album and starting at the first track and then working your way through. Though maybe you could start at this and return, but I would recommend you humor those first 9 pieces. They are worth your time. As well as really anything, I would imagine, from Frozen Crown, of Italian origin for anybody who's not yet welcomed them, of the power metal stylization. I know probably some of you approach again being familiarized fans like myself now, but many of you I know advanced me. But some of you may be of initiate standing. This is perhaps your first footing into Frozen Crown, as well as maybe your first footing into European metal. I speak of it quite glamorously. We spend a lot of time here with good reason. Frozen Crown, no exception. One of my earliest introductions into the Italian metal sphere, more specifically. Not the earliest, but one of them. And a fun one. One that I've quite liked taking, in particular with other artist credits and many more to come. But Frozen Crown really is such a specific influence as to why I love the metal atmosphere so much, especially power metal, which my favorite is symphonic, but I'm quickly developing a love for power metal amongst many credits. Frozen Crown, of course, no exception. So, Far Away, let's initiate with a 7-minute work together, our conclusion. And it seems like a deserved fanfare. I mean, that's what I would call it, 7 minutes. It sounds like it's going to be a considerable journey. But maybe you're first with Frozen Crown. Again, I would recommend you listen to Call of the North in its entirety. It is worth your time, but I'm sure you'll have a fun ride with this one. We're going to enjoy it together for a first-time witness. Let's experience this. This feels like a specific power metal number. Funny enough, going back in like Winterbane territory with Angels in Disguise. I really liked that one, so to have a bit of a similar key control. Different moods, substantial shifts, not bad though. Again, variance. That's what I'm seeing on these last 4 works now. This is an adventurous one.
When the shadows fall and the lights are fading out, we can hear it more between the trees, calling out for the sky.
the pairing of pacing on Jada's vocals meshed with again the riffs, that feels split. So the snares, the riff body, that all feels like Frozen Crown footholds. There's still a fresh face that comes through. And a symphonic ambiance touch. Again, that's been quite welcome for me. I love the vocal flow with this one. Go back into the origin, okay.
When the moon was high, bleeding wood within the sky, we saw his shade standing tall above his way. No more failure of fall, we stand.
That's a great drive of this number. That's an interesting association between key and vocals there. At least under that brief line, again differentiated to the sentiment of what I'm familiarized to with Frozen Crown instrumental navigation on key. It's split. This really is like a power metal medley with these slower departure points, but they're interesting. An even number though. I'm expecting a twist on the instrumental to come up for the bridge. Not this twist. Let's see. It really softens it. It's a grounded number. Told you, twist on the bridge. It's a number that takes its time. That's great. Oh, I got... Usually the numbers of past experience of Frozen Crown are a little more even in terms of vocal presence and instrumentals, so this one to be more of a medley is, especially as a conclusion, it does feel like a fitting wrap-up in that respect. I'll have to look and see if the other previous albums have followed suit with this. I know it'd be the other way around, actually, with chronology of release, but... this one has a great effect. You know, I love curveball endings, so... That's a great touch. Speaking of the wrap-up effect, that's a beautiful conclusion agent. That number's a lot more variated than I thought it would be, and it really is like an instrumental medley. Almost kind of coin on like a bit of an instrumental edge. And I thought that because of, again, how prolonged the origin is. It's stretched, and even that bridge section as well, the vocals are greatly reduced, which is different to other numbers off of Call of the North, where things are given more of an even showcase and balance. This one takes its time. Paced extremely well, though, again, for how wild it is of a release, and it departs in several... You know, it's just like a, what's the word? It's like a portfolio, a skimmed. Yeah, this is a fitting survey of various Frozen Crown levels, told strategically and sectioned off quite appropriately. Like, it feels, again, the way we transfer from one section of this number to a number, it's incredibly balanced. The transitions are not necessarily, they don't have a, there's a generalized flow, but the switches are expressed with a heightened pronouncement. The change points feel like they have evident boundaries expressed. It's not bad, though. I like it as a number. As a closure, it's quite different from what I've experienced previously. Again, whether it be in the respect to a closure number, admittedly less, or album openers, again, of a longer duration at around 7 minutes, or maybe a little longer, where those pieces are quite even, again, on constituent elements. This one, though it has, again, the Frozen Crown veneer familiarity, Giada's vocals is always impressed. The riffs, the guitar work, that's all great. It's just, even its instrumental score, it's different. You know, if it's been the testament, again, of the remainder of Call of the North, and apparently on the conclusion it's just the same. Although, again, we think back to Call of the North as well, you know, initiation via the title number, and even that expressed somewhat of a fresh face. You know, I like groups that express, again, a bit of a desire to adapt from time to time, though, again, they stick keenly to their roots. And Call of the North is still deliberately a Frozen Crown piece. That's evident in the collection of work. You hear that familiarized sound, though there is some general and very specific adaptation. We've had a fun ride the entirety of the way, for at least I have. 9 numbers. Ending on a high note, of course, is deserved and fitting. And this one, still just as experimental as some of the other pieces have been, at least on subtle delivery. Interesting choices made, but one that I find quite interesting and welcoming of a release, and I can't wait to humor again. I hope the same is true with you. As an album closure, though, that effect of change, especially on the heightened presence of the instrumental, that's interesting. It's different, but I find it quite unique. I like it. Bit more stretched. Fun number, though, all the same. I'd love to hear that opinion shared with you down below, as well as your overall thoughts on that we've reached the end of our journey together. Again, one I decided on impulse, but one that's deserved, I think. If you experienced Call of the North with me, you understand why. These last 6 numbers have been quite great. I'm a Frozen Crown, though, I expect nothing less. They really are a fun group to listen to. I'd love to hear your thoughts down below on this piece, and your point of engagement. Longtime fan, initiate listener, what do you think? I can't wait for more. As I've said to the credit of any artist here, open door policy. Frozen Crown, no exception. I can't wait for the future. But to return at least a little sooner with Call of the North in focus, in full, based on how generalized of an opportunity I've given to many other European credits with the full album treatment, it was deserved. And for Call of the North, I'm glad I decided to do just that. Thank you so much for watching this video. Before you bounce, feel free to drop a like and comment, subscribe to this channel with a ding on the bell, and share this video with your friends. And consider checking out the description here. There you'll find links to my other channels, as well as addresses to my other social media accounts and ways you can help support my work if you feel so inclined. May God bless you, and looking forward to when our paths cross again.